JV Jones here with the legendary Stacy Lattisaw and Roosevelt Jackson. What's going on, folks?
Hey, how are you?
Hello, how you doing?
Fine. I am so glad to be here with y'all. Look, y'all got a wonderful play coming out called Unseen Presence.
Yes.
It's going to be at the Howard Theater. Please tell me about it.
Well, Unseen Presence is just, it took it a little bit from the movie I made called Misconception of a Father that I did last year. I've been blessed that the DVD was picked up by Maverick Entertainment, and they're gonna do a natural North American DVD release at the end of the year.
Okay.
So when the Howard Theater called, I said, Roosevelt, do you want to come and do a play? We have a opening. I said, let me see, because I was doing Life According to Rashida, promoted that movie. So I said, okay, I haven't done a play in 2 years, because there's a reason why I stopped doing plays, because one of my actors passed away, Cheryl P., who was died of brain cancer. That kind of affected me, so I stopped. It was called Breaking Walls. She died right the week of doing the play, and that was like, after that, I was like, a lot of stuff was going on. So I did a play, and I said, I'd step away. I had the footage from Misconception, so I just went on and filmed that. Then I did Life According to Rashida, dealing about a young lady with breast cancer and how it affect friends and family. What happened with part one, it was, everybody said, well, you gotta do a part two. I'd never done a part two, so that took my time away, and so I was doing that. But like I said, I love to write, so when Howard Theater said, do you have something? I just went into my room and look, and I said, baby, let me I can do Misconception, take a little bit and called Unseen, because Unseen is about fathers who do not play a presence in their child life and how it affects them, and how the mother, grandmother, girlfriends, neighborhood, everybody, community have to step up and, become that father.
Right.
And the story, the way I write is about, you have the father who think just giving money is good enough. You have the father who have many kids and don't care nothing about it. Then you have one who really want to be there, but the mother is so angry because they're not together, she take it out with him. So that's how I write. When you come to see my plays and movies, I create maybe 2 or 3 storylines,
Okay.
and then bring them together.
That's
So
wonderful.
when I did it, we was promoting it, and I always wanted Mr. Lattisaw-Jackson to be in my play. Always. I asked my wife Niani, right, who's my partner in business and personal, and I said, baby, it's one person in the DMV that I want to be in my play. And she said, who? I said, Stacy Lattisaw. She looked at me like, yeah, that would be nice. And walk off, right? I said, yeah. So I contacted Miss Jackson. It wasn't right at the time, it wasn't right. And I still was building my resume. And I tell people, make sure you build your work and do good work, so when people see it, they will appreciate it. And what really made me feel good was when one of my associates said, got in touch with Mr. Jackson, and she called me. I like, hello. Hey, I was like, I said, oh, okay, right? I'm like, yeah, right, her personally. So we talked for a good 25, 30 minutes. I said, okay, I'll send you the script and everything. So the next morning I dropped my son off, and I missed a call. Sid said, Stacy said, call her. I said, Stacy who? I was like, because I'm not on first name basis. So I called her, and I think she's going to say, Roosevelt, I'm too busy. I can't. And she said, Roosevelt, without looking at the script, I heard about your work. I want to do it. I couldn't get off the phone quick enough to call my wife, because that made me feel so good. Somebody in her, legendary person that could say this. Because sometimes I don't feel, and my wife, we say, you can't, I don't worry about what other people do, but I try to do positive work. And I just feel that no one but when she said she heard about it and other people said it, I felt good. So we talk, and all the business stuff was easy to do. I mean, it was easier than some of the people I deal with that's non-professional. And she's here in the play, and I'm just honored.
And that's the kind of play we need. Something that's inspirational.
Positive.
So how did it affect you when he called you and wanted you to be a part of this? How did you feel?
Well, It was actually something that I had been considering for a while, acting. And in fact, it was funny because I mentioned to my husband a while ago, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind possibly doing some acting or being, doing something on TV, in a play or whatever. But we'll see, when the right opportunity presents itself. And I had heard about Roosevelt's plays and not the movie that he did, but I never really digged a lot into it. But I did read that script, and I heard about him being a person of integrity, and I'm very much into integrity, So once I got the script in my hand and I started reading that thing, I couldn't put it down. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And like I said, it's such a powerful play because it's very relatable, and I think that it's something that especially the Black community, needs to hear, see, and apply.
Yes.
There are a lot of women that are raising children alone. And it's tough. It's kind of, I've never experienced that, but I hear stories and things. And so I know that has to be a tough place to be in.
Yes.
So, like I said, when I read that script, and it just grabbed me, and I was like, you know what? I can be. I really believe I can do this. So, I told my husband off the bat after I read that thing, I read it again, and I was like, yeah. So I went to the rehearsal and met the cast and everyone, and met Roosevelt's wonderful wife, and they're good people. I was like, yeah, this whole thing is, I don't believe in coincidence.
Yes, and it was a perfect fit.
Yeah, perfect fit. And it's funny because the role I'm playing, no one's going to recognize me. I'm not going to look like myself at all.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm playing the role as a minister, an inspirational woman. So she's actually in her 80s. Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm already giving it away. But anyway,
Yes.
it's okay though,
It's okay.
because like I said, when the people see me, they're not going to recognize me off the bat. But it's such a powerful, positive role.
Yes.
In this play, and the script is phenomenal. It is something that, in fact, I mentioned it to my sister. There's just certain scenes in it that it's like you really, really feel it, And in fact, when I was at rehearsal the other day, I don't know if you saw me or not, but I had tears in my eyes. I had to get tissue out of my face. I was like, oh my gosh.
Now that's when you know that it's a touching.
Yeah.
I thought you were reaching for her phone. I was looking at it like,
No. I was reaching for tissue because it really, really, I could relate to it.
Yes.
Because of some things that, has happened in my family. So, I think that everyone that sees this play, they're going to leave with something.
That's great.
They're going to leave with a positive, inspirational word. And most importantly, they're going to realize that family is the key. We got to get back to family. We got to get back to, because it's funny because the other day, me and my husband were talking about how technology is taking over, and we found ourselves texting each other from the bedroom, which is ridiculous. He downstairs in the office, and upstairs, I'm upstairs in the bedroom, and we texting. It's like, really? Even the kids, we texting too much,
Not
we got
personal
right.
anymore.
That's it. But yeah, but this play, like I said, it touches on a lot of different things that I believe that we all can really relate to, and it's just great.
I want to also ask you about your women's ministry. I read a little bit about it, and you're just doing wonderful things. I'm so proud of you.
Amen.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, I've been in ministry now for almost 8 years, and I'm actually an evangelist. That's what I love to do. I love to see people's lives change. I love to see when God has done a great work in a person. And I always say to the Lord, I make myself available, and it's all about, at the end of the day, being a kingdom builder. My husband and I, that's what we call ourselves, kingdom builders. And the ministry, I do a lot of women's conferences. I do youth conferences. I love working with kids. I work with kids ages 12 to 18. I have a mentoring program. I teach voice lessons to kids 12 to 18. And I love working with the women. I love speaking into women's lives, because we as Black women especially, we don't uplift and encourage each other enough. And I'm so much on unity. If we as a people, Black people, get to tap into unity, that's where power is. Instead of, and I tell the women a lot of times when I minister at the women's conferences in churches, instead of, if you see that lady, that fine sister walking down the street with some nice shoes on, a nice hair, nice purse, her hair done nicely, she got it going on. Why not compliment her instead of criticize her? Why not say to her, you know what, you look nice. But see, we only see the outward man, but God sees the inward man. You don't know what that sister's going through. I'm trying not to preach.
No, it's okay.
But you always see is this, okay? So she may appear that she has it all together, but you don't know what's going on in her heart, in her spirit. You don't know what's going on in her life. You don't know what she's dealing with. So instead of rolling your eyes, betting your eyes, and gritting on her, compliment her. Because guess what? You never know when the last time she had a compliment. You don't know what she is. See, so the ministry is called Women Walking with Authority. And we are about building bridges. In fact, the name of my company, I'm the CEO and founder of Believers Building Bridges. Wonderful. And what we're designed to do is help other people cross the bridge and walk into their God-ordained purpose.
Yes.
So that's what Believers Building Bridges is all about.
And you also have a book.
Yeah, I wrote and self-published my own book. First book called I'm Not the Same Girl, Renewed. And it talks about, oh my gosh, and it's so funny because I never really, when God put it on my heart to write this book, I felt like, what's the first thing to do? Because it's a process to everything. So I didn't know where to begin. So a friend of mine, she's a pastor, and so she began to help me, and she said, well, just pick up the pen. That's all you got to do. Pick up the pen and begin to write. So I just did that. I began to pick up the pen, and I found myself waking up at night and writing. And it was very therapeutic for me, because sometimes I would cry, and sometimes I would laugh, because it brought back so many memories and some things I didn't want to remember. Because see, a lot of people, they see somewhat, I'll say, they see somewhat of the glory, but they don't know your story. They don't know the hurt and the pain and the times you suffered and the times that you, the sad times. They don't know that side of it. All they see is the success. But you know what? It's a process. It's a place. It's a time, and it's a season for everything. So when I was a child star, those were some hard times for me, and I never really enjoyed it. I never liked it. I never even wanted to be a professional singer. It was my mother's dream. My mother sang with Marvin Gaye. They went to school together here in D.C.
Okay.
So they started a group, and my mother was one of the lead singers in the group. Her name was Sandra Storm.
Wow.
And yeah, so my mother could sing. And so by the time I was 6 years old, I was singing in the kitchen with her. And she heard me singing, and she was like, Stacy can really sing. So then next thing you know, at 9 years old, my sister's having a talent show at her school. And they asked me if I would be on this show and do a song. And I said, no, I don't want to get on no stage and sing. I want to sing at home. It's okay, and at home in the kitchen. But no, I don't want to do the live thing. So I remember my mother at the time. I think she said, if you. How did she put that? If I give you $10 or $15, would you do it? And I'm thinking about, well, maybe what I can do with that $10, $15, I can go to Supergiant when that store was around, and I can pick up some toys, right? So yeah, so next thing you know, I was on the stage at Spring Garden High School, and I sang 2 or 3 songs, and I remember just like it was the other day, I was this little skinny, frail girl, and next thing I knew, the people in the audience just ran to the stage, and I was like, what in the world? It was just
Overwhelming, huh?
yeah, it really was. It's 9 years old. So, but more time goes around it, and so we started getting phone calls to sing at different places, talent shows and fashion shows and stuff. So next thing you know, my father would always record me singing. And you know, back in the day, people carried around the cassette recorder, right?
Yes.
You remember those days?
Yes.
The cassette recorder. And so my aunt, she used to work with an attorney who worked for Atlantic Records.
Oh, okay.
So she was like, I need you all to get this tape to Atlantic Records. So they sent the tape there to Atlantic Records. And the president of the label heard me singing, and I was 12 years old then. So he was like, well, we need to get her to come up here and sing for us in the office. And so back then, I wanted to play double dutch and volleyball, kickball. I wasn't trying to go no New York City. I was not trying to go to New York City to meet these people at Atlantic Records. So long story short, we drove up to New York, and we met Henry Allen, who was the president of the label, and I sang for him. And Henry started crying. I remember this big office and this guy with these tears rolling down his face, and I was like, why is this guy crying? You know? But obviously he felt
But
something.
you were amazing at such a young age that I'm sure was overwhelming for them too, to hear that voice come from a young person. Because it overwhelms me now to see someone very young with a very, that voice. I'm like, wow, you just can't believe that, that's happening. But it is so nice having this conversation with the two of you. I have truly enjoyed it. You are a wonderful, amazing woman, mother, minister, all that good, evangelist. And yes,
it's all good. Amen.
Amen.
Glad
The year,
to get my word out. Thank you.
talented.
Thank you.
From one writer to another, I hope to write plays and things myself. So hopefully, maybe I can have you mentor me.
That's good stuff. That's good
Yes.
stuff. Keep the vein.
Why don't you tell the people how they can follow you on social media and all that good stuff?
Facebook, Roosevelt Entertainment. It's IG, I guess Instagram, Roosevelt Entertainment. I can't remember my Twitter. It's Roosevelt at Roosevelt Production. Rose at OSENT, something like that. You can. It's on my Facebook page, but that's where I'm at. Or Roosevelt Entertainment Facebook.
And of course, mine is Stacy Lattisaw on Facebook. I have a Facebook fan page, the official Stacy Lattisaw fan page, and then I have a regular Facebook page, and also Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I tweet inspirational things. I tweet scripture. I pray for people on Twitter.
Yes.
I call myself I'm about the kingdom. I'm about seeing people's lives change. I just look to be a blessing every day of my life.
That's wonderful. So we're going to see you all tomorrow.
Yes,
We
will be there early.
At 1 o'clock.
With bells
Doors
on.
open at 12.
Everybody
show start
needs
1.
to show up early because it's going to sell out.
Even if it don't sell out, we're gonna have a heck
We
of
gonna-
a show.
yeah, but we
Because I don't do shows to sell out. I don't do shows to sell out. I do to get the message.
Yes,
And whoever
that's
there,
it.
you're gonna really enjoy
That's
the show.
it.
That's
All
how.
right.
Yes.
That's it.
And I'm just blessed
Well,
for
this is-
anyone to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tickets
This
at
is
Howard
J.B.
University.
Jones signing
Yes,
out with
indeed.
DC Nightlife with the legendary Stacy Lattisaw-Jackson.
Yes, and Roosevelt.
And Roosevelt Jackson.
Roosevelt.
All right.
Hope to
Thank
see you all tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you.
Amen. God bless.